Well, that was not an easy game. I did predict 2-0. That's how it finished. That doesn't really tell half of the story. Hey, it's me, the Gunatokes. Welcome back. I'm going to talk about the game, give my match reaction. But before I do that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. And let's just jump straight into it. I mean, it was a tough game. Brentford are no, slouch really. They know what they're doing. They've been performing well in the league for a little while now. They're quite a well-established team. And even though Thomas Frank left, they managed to have a good continuation of stuff. They brought someone in who knew what they were doing, who knew what he was doing. And today was not easy at all. To be fair, we started really well. We were dominating, we were pressing them, putting them under a lot of pressure, and I thought, yeah, this is a great start. They were not really able to play out at all. They were really trying to just stop us from getting in at goal, and I thought we were going to go on and win this game and dominate this game quite easily from the way we started, and we got a goal quite early on. Fantastic goal. Brilliant bit of play on the right wing. Madueke, nice little flick round the side for Ben White, who makes an excellent cross, and Merino's there. He nuts it in again. Second game in a row, he's scored a header. Really good finisher, that guy. And like I said, he's going to be considered one of our top attackers. And even though we've got Gyökeres back and Jesus back, both of them started on the bench, and Merino gets his goal. Well done. I thought he would be rotated out, but he got played, and I guess Gyökeres isn't quite ready to start, but that was a great start from Arsenal, and I thought, great, that's it, 1-0. We can shake off all that crap from the Chelsea game, go on and win a game and dominate the game from start to finish. But that is where it died, really. Brentford really built into the game after that. They were pushing us back a lot, dominating a lot, getting set piece after set piece, throw-ins with their long throw-ins, everybody getting hyped from their lot, and then corner after corner, and it was difficult to get out. I don't know what was wrong with Arsenal, because we kept trying, but Brentford were pressing. I think that's something we got to watch out for, because it seems like teams now are going to try and do this. They're going to try and press us hard. They're going to try and press us high. They're going to try and be aggressive, and we've got to deal with that. We've got to manage that. And we were under the cosh a lot for the rest of that first half. It was hard to get a rhythm in the game, and I was worried, to be honest. We started so well, we got the goal, and then all of a sudden we got so passive, we sat back we were in our shells a little bit, and Brentford started dominating. And I mean, they could have scored a few. They could have scored a few chances. They hit the crossbar from a fantastic David Raya save. At first, I thought it was just a header onto the crossbar, but Raya had made a fantastic save, tipped it onto the crossbar. And when you look back on the game, that was a crucial save, because if they had scored there, I don't know what would have happened, because the momentum was with Brentford for the rest of that first half. And I was glad to get into half time with only still a 1-0 victory at that moment, because Brentford were pushing, and it was a tough game, really, really tough game. I don't know whether it's all the games we've played recently. Zubimendi was there, but our passing was still off. Our passing was still off. That was a problem today, and we weren't making the right decisions at the right moments. Madueke looked really threatening. That's the thing. A lot of players look really threatening. Madueke looked really threatening. Merino was threatening. I mean, a lot of players were playing really well. Rice was looking really good as well. He was dominating, but it just wasn't cohesive. We just weren't being clinical with what we were doing with our passing. It was a similar thing that happened in the Chelsea game. We were just not getting the weight of the pass right, not getting the placement of the pass right, and we were getting countered on easily by Brentford, and they were pushing us back. And I thought, okay, second half, maybe we can come out and things can change a little bit, but no. Brentford came out the stronger in the second half, and they were pushing us back, and we were lucky that they didn't score. We were lucky that we kept the game, we managed the game. I think that's the best thing to take out of it, that we didn't concede and we managed the game as best as we could in that moment. But Brentford could have scored. They had a lot of corners. They had a lot of, and the thing, if they had managed to match up just once their delivery of the corners with the intention of the attacking players, then maybe they would have scored. But it just goes to show how hard it is to do what we have been doing for so long, scoring from corners. It's a little bit different now with Gabriel out of the team, Saliba out of the team, big misses, but well done to Incapié. And Mosquera, oh my God, I haven't even talked about Mosquera. Mosquera goes off injured. How many? We don't have any more defenders. Timber, and that messed us up a little bit, to be fair. To be fair to Arsenal. And that happened around the time of the goal, to be honest, that Mosquera injury. So I can say maybe that played a little bit of a part in it. But even before that, it was a tough game. And Mosquera coming off, and then we're having to shuffle things around in defence, and Timber goes centre half. Luckily, Timber has played centre half with the Dutch national team. He plays alongside Van Dijk a lot of the time. I was wondering who was going to go into that position. Luckily, he's, such an incredible defender and so versatile that he can slip in. But now we're running out of defenders. He's playing centre half next to Ben White. Incapié is playing next to Calafiori. So who's left in defence? Everybody was saying, oh, why are you buying this person and why are you buying that person, and squad depth. But look at all these injuries. I don't know what's going on, but I don't even know what happened to Mosquera. It looked like, it didn't even, when I watched the replay, it didn't look like anything so bad, but he's had to come off, and I hope they're trying to be safe. But is Saliba going to be back for the next game? So it looks like that defence is what it is. They're going to have to play every minute now, and Timber's going to have to be a centre half. And it's a good thing we got the victory today, and I guess taking that into consideration and how we had to move things around. But still, that doesn't account for the lack of dominance in midfield and attack. I think Ødegaard was not really able to control the play that well. To be honest, he looked a bit rusty. That's a fact. His passing wasn't on it, to be honest. Merino was fantastic. That guy was phenomenal. And he, I think, could drop back into midfield maybe now, and Gyökeres can start playing in attack a little bit more. But Ødegaard looks not on it. Obviously, he hasn't played at all this season, so it's going to be a bit hard for him to get back into it. And then so the change was made, and Saka comes on, and Eze comes on, and that's where finally we started to get some control in the game again, and started playing more in their half. That's the thing. The game was just played in our half so much. It was just ridiculous. We just couldn't get out. Brentford were really aggressive. They knew what they were trying to do. And like I said, I think teams are going to try and now do this tactic against us and try and be a little bit more aggressive rather than being a bit more passive, because they know if they are like that and they sit back, they know we can just win with corners and things. So they're thinking, well, we may as well go for it, because Arsenal will score anyway now if we're sitting back. So I think that's something we're going to have to adapt to in our play and get a little bit more used to. And it's a little bit of a learning curve. And with another change in defence coming, it's a bit of a nightmare with that. But hey, Saka comes on, gets the goal. That goal, he was like, yo, this is going in. He hit it so hard. At the end of the day, Kelleher got a hand to it. It was way over the line in the end. Again, Merino involved, and Merino probably man of the match for me in this game. He was phenomenal. Did everything, was involved in everything, dropping back when he needed to. The guy, I saw him in like central defensive midfield, and the next second he's up playing centre forward. So that guy was all over the place and gave everything for the team today. So well done to Merino. And Saka gets the goal, puts it to bed, really late on in the game, and we could finally breathe a sigh of relief. And I didn't even know finally what happened in a lot of the other games, because I jumped right on here to do this. So let's have a look and see what's going on. Villa were having a crazy game. It finished 4-3 finally. Wow, the Villa game is mad. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be on a Villa podcast about the preview for the game that we've got coming up. That's going to be an interesting one, considering what happened with Villa. 3-4. They won 3-4 away at Brighton, and that game was back and forth. The other big scores, what happened? Leeds are beating Chelsea 2-1 at the moment. What does it mean if you draw against us at home and they're all raving about the point? You've got to now go and get something out of this game against Leeds. So we'll see what happens there with the Chelsea game. Liverpool are losing already to Sunderland already. Oh no, it's quite late in that game, so they're losing. I'd lost all track of all the other games with watching Arsenal. But hey, we won 2-0. Top of the league. Costly game. Lost another defender. But really great for Eze and Saka to come on and make a difference. Eze caused chaos. He wasn't quite as controlled as he usually can be, but he really caused problems for Brentford when he came on. So really good to see the subs coming on. And when you can bring players on like Eze and Saka, I mean, you're always going to be in a good position. And we were already winning, but they were, there to see the game out. And Saka got that winning goal for us. So ultimately, tough game. Brentford did well, but we got a win, 2-0 is what I predicted. A bit harder than I thought, but we're playing at home. Like I said, that's a game you got to win. You're playing against Brentford. City won yesterday. And so we're back to 5 points ahead of City. Next game, we got Villa. Let's have a look at who City have got in the next game. If we have Villa, that's a tough game we're playing away. City, who do they have? Let's have a quick look. We got Villa. And City have... City are home to Sunderland. Sunderland are currently beating Liverpool. Sunderland, we had a tough game against them. I don't need to tell you all about Sunderland, so let's see what happens with that. But, hey, 3 points. Everybody breathe. Back to winning ways. Don't matter how you got it. A lot of games to come. They're coming thick and fast. We got to be ready for Saturday. I'll give my preview probably tomorrow, but I'm going to be on a Villa podcast, so I'll put a link for that in the video, in my preview tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching. Come on, top of the league, 5 points clear. Yo, can't complain. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Bye.